Today, we're diving into something that affects pretty much every workplace: safety training. Yeah, I know. You're probably thinking about that long, once-a-year seminar that's more about ticking a box than actually remembering anything. But what if we could totally flip that on its head? What if we could turn safety from a chore you forget into a daily habit that actually saves lives?
So let's really get into the core of the problem here. Because surprisingly, it's not always the training itself that's the issue. It's what happens in the hours, the days, and the weeks after everyone's gone home. I mean, just think about it for a second. All that critical info, fire safety, how to use equipment, emergency protocols, where does it all go once you're back on the job? Does it really stick with you for when you might actually need it?
Well, the reality is kind of shocking. Look at this number, 80%. That's how much of that vital safety knowledge just disappears within a single month if it's not reinforced. It doesn't just fade away, it's practically gone. Now, this isn't a new idea. It's something called the forgetting curve, based on research from way back. It just shows that our brains are literally wired to ditch information we don't use regularly. And when it comes to safety, well, that's a huge problem. And this is exactly why the old way just doesn't work. We cram a year's worth of information into these marathon sessions, which is just total overload. The focus becomes about compliance, just checking that box, not about actually retaining the info. And that creates this huge, dangerous gap between the training day and a real-life emergency. But what if we could work with our brains instead of fighting against them? Well, that's where this whole thing gets interesting. This is where microlearning comes into the picture. So what is it exactly? Okay, think of it like taking a daily vitamin instead of getting a massive injection once a year. Microlearning is all about delivering training in these small, focused, bite-sized pieces, usually just 3 to 10 minutes, each one laser-focused on one single idea. And you can really see the difference side by side here. On the left, you've got the old school method. It's long, it's overwhelming, it totally disrupts your day. But on the right, you have microlearning. It's bite-sized, it's continuous, and it's designed to fit right into your workflow without missing a beat. It's a completely different philosophy. And this quote from Deloitte really hits home why this shift is so important. The average employee has only about 24 minutes a week for any kind of training. So microlearning isn't just some clever trend, it's a practical solution for how we actually work today. Okay, so the big question, does this bite-sized approach actually lead to big results? Well, let me tell you, the data is pretty compelling. Let's take a look. This chart just says it all, doesn't it? Those traditional long courses, yeah, their completion rates often struggle to even hit 25%. But with microlearning, that number skyrockets to over 80%. The message here is simple. When you make training accessible, people actually do it. And the benefits just keep stacking up. First, you get way better retention because you're constantly fighting that forgetting curve. Engagement is higher because, let's be honest, short and sweet is just more appealing. It's totally flexible, and it provides knowledge just in time, right when you actually need it. And on top of all that, it's cheaper and faster to create. It's pretty much a win-win-win. All right, so how do you actually make this work? Because it's not just about taking your old hour-long video and chopping it into 10 pieces. There's a real strategy here to make it effective. So here it is, the 4-part playbook. First up, spaced repetition. You revisit topics over time to lock them into long-term memory. Second, single topic focus. Keep it simple, one idea per lesson. Third, make it interactive. Use things like quizzes and short videos to keep people leaning in. And finally, just-in-time delivery. Make sure the training is available right when the real-world task is happening. And here's a fantastic little trick. Use mnemonics or simple memory aids. You probably already know one, like PASS for a fire extinguisher. Pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. These little hooks are incredibly powerful for remembering things under pressure, and they're perfect for a quick micro lesson. Now, this all sounds great in theory, right? But does it actually prevent accidents? Does it save lives in the real world? Let's look at the actual impact. So let's start with a case study for manufacturing. This is an environment where safety isn't just a poster on the wall, it's absolutely critical every single minute of every day. Remember that manufacturing company? After they switched to daily 5-minute safety modules, this happened. A 35% drop in accident rates. That's not just a statistic, that's a huge, tangible improvement in keeping people safe. And it's not just in factories. let's look at another really high-risk job, construction. You've got workers spread out all over the place, facing different dangers every day. So check out this number, 3. That's how many years in a row a construction firm saw its incident rate go down after they started using daily microvideos. This proves it's not just a quick fix. This is a tool for building a lasting culture of safety. So if you're feeling inspired, here's a quick roadmap to get started. First, figure out your most important safety topics. Then, start small. Try a pilot program. Pick a platform that's easy to access, like a mobile app. Weave it into the daily routine. And then, most importantly, measure your results and keep improving. It's a really simple but powerful process. So, when you boil it all down, the main takeaway is right here. Safety training isn't a one-time event that you just have to get through. It's a continuous process, something that's woven directly into the fabric of your workday. And that really brings us to the final question, the one you should be asking yourself. Is your current training just checking a box, or is it actually building a real, living culture of safety? Because making that shift from compliance to culture, well, microlearning just might be the key.